Hi guys, it's Editor Becky here. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty with the microphones this week, so if it sounds a little bit different, that is why. We're really sorry and we're hoping we can sort it out for next episode. So enjoy the episode.
Hello everyone.
Hi guys.
Ho ho ho.
Merry Christmas. You can't even see the lights.
Oh, well, if you... Look, we actually did an attempt. They are Christmas trees. Oh, Christmas trees. But yeah, I was more zoomed in this week, so...
You actually can't. What
That's okay.
Like?
I couldn't, yeah.
That feels like a bit of a fire
It's stuck on my ear. Oh, if you guys are like listening via podcast and none of this makes sense, we have a little Christmas setup.
A bit of Christmas setup where we've not actually thought about
Oh no, this is kind of cute.
how it looks.
I'm not so sure. Maybe
It feels a bit warm, doesn't it?
Maybe we just pop them back.
You guys know it's there.
Well, I mean, for those that can't see us, okay, first of all, I'm Liz.
Hi, I'm Liliana.
And welcome back to Blonde Vibrations.
Champagne Whispers episode 13.
Lucky.
We're not going to go through the whole 13 means this. 'Cause we
It
did
just
that in the Buffalo
means
mixtape.
lucky, and if you don't, well, actually, that's really unfortunate to the non-Spotify
Yeah.
users. It's lucky not for others, but for us. And we are currently in matching Mrs. Claus outfits. How many years have we had these for? 3?
We've had them as long as we've lived
Oh,
together.
will you hood him for a sec? I'll hood with you. Oh.
Oh.
But then I just look bold.
You look like a baby.
newborn
Newborn
scrunch. So I'm gonna not let your sigils get hair coming out. But I have a matching scrunchie to the... Sorry about the side profile, but cute.
So yeah, we kind of went all out. We got these dresses in our first house because we were just doing Christmas in lockdown. I don't even think there was a reason for it. We just wanted it.
It was when it was like we were out of lockdown, but London went back into lockdown, so we weren't allowed to do anything except for people with the garden. We wore these in the garden. Do you remember, with the neighbours? So what a fun time, huh?
How extra! But at the time, we were like, these dresses are like, we're gonna have them forever. Like,
this is the 4th year we've had them, I think. We did that, and then the year after, we wore them in this house with our ex-housemate Sophie, who, she has one of these as well, but just long distance Mrs. Claus relationship. And then last year, time passed. Yeah. So this is now the 4th year, but the third run of them.
Yeah. And we were like, it's an investment. And we're going to wear them for the rest of our lives. So
they are from Amazon, but like it is fine because we're getting wear out of them every year.
Yeah.
Because it's the kind of thing where like we've even said, as far as like if we ever get pregnant, you'll be able to wear these pregnant because
like,
there's no shape.
Long-term planning these dresses. Like we're going to have them forever. Like we're going to be like randomly overdressed for every Christmas ever now.
Because we have it in our head that we are going to see each other each Christmas day. And I'm not sure.
Never done that.
I'm not sure we've ever actually considered the logistics of when we're both at our family homes. We're probably like a 6-hour drive from each other. So this would be on the basis of us having our own families, whatever,
nearby,
and then not still making a decision to visit our family homes. But yeah, this is actually the Christmas special. Sam's dresses are in aid of that. We just thought, why not do a Christmas themed episode, considering 'tis the season, if you celebrate it, and
if you don't,
happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays for all those bunnies out there.
We are waiting for Easter.
I saw something that was like, did you see this, or was I with you when we watched it? It was like, if you're called Holly at the minute, and this is your time. And my dog was almost called Holly, I think.
Because it was her time.
Yeah, because she looks like snow. And we
Is that why?
Well, we got around Christmas.
Around Christmas.
Yeah, when she does look like snow. That's like a side note. Yeah, she
Which
does.
one?
She looks like a little drop of snow
Which
from
one?
like heaven. Alice.
God, I thought it was Grace. I was like, Grace doesn't look like snow. Yes, she does. She looks like a little snow. Like, why are we going so heavy on the religion?
My other dog looks like the Grinch that stole Christmas, and we call her the Grinch because she's, I don't know. I don't even know what the Grinch looks like. The Grinch doesn't have those teeth that she has, so why does that? What is that?
Overbite.
Yeah, I know she has it, but like, oh, it's an underbite. That's what she got. I don't know, man.
Well, I never thought I'd see the day of you doing that to the camera.
Just a little one. Then the one with the crowd. But yeah, we thought, well, it somewhat gets you into the festive spirit. I mean, we're not talking about, oh, what's your favourite thing about Christmas? Like, we're not going down the, like, pure festive route.
We're fully going down the... Sorry, I just realised I just put my knee up and you guys can see my pyjama bottoms. I'll put that back down.
It's giving, like, Zoom meeting top. Pyjamas on bottom.
Yeah, we've kind of gone down like the commercialised Christmas route. Like it's all about like presents and
had to be different, huh?
what you do. Like if it's one thing you know about us, it's that we like buying things.
Yeah, we do. Just a little small detour before we get into all the polls and everything, because we're talking about presents. If you want, I don't know when this will go up actually.
It'll go up next weekend.
So upon the upload date of this, you will have the smallest time ever. I'm talking this weekend, our giveaway over on Instagram, blonde_vibrations will end. If you want some really nice stuff, potentially just in time for Christmas Day, or if you want to order something for someone else with a rough trade gift card, go over there, follow us, tag 3 friends. Thank you so much to whoever entered and tagged Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And also I want to say hashtagged Angelina Jolie as well, right?
Yeah, it was their account, maybe like their business account. No, they tagged themselves, Angelina Jolie, and then hashtag Angelina Jolie.
Like, I'm really not sure that you understood the rules. However, if you do win, I won't disqualify you for that.
No, because you have to respect it. Like, we used to always, like, the unfortunate thing is that the rules are that they have to follow us.
Angelina Jolie's not going to follow us.
Back in the day, we used to always tag random people. Didn't we once get Grace to tag Thomas as of Thomas Heaton into our last giveaway? Yeah, she liked it because he liked it because obviously he follows us,
he would have
so he would have got the notification. It's like, you know what? It's a fun
Sometimes
thing to do.
you have to do it. I used to tag H in things,
Yeah.
and I probably still would.
I think I've tagged Harry.
I know you tagged Harry. There he is. We didn't dress him up for Christmas, but I guess he is like Santa. He's the gift that keeps on giving. He is the gift, right?
He's not giving much.
Well, maybe someone should buy him for Christmas a wig.
I thought you said, oh wait, and I was like, what? And then I realised what you said.
Oh wait, mic drop.
Maybe someone should buy him for Christmas. Oh wait, but you're gonna go like, I just did.
Just purchase him a wig right now. Right, shall we get on to the first poll of the... Well, you know what? On the Instagram stories, I called us ho-ho hosts.
Oh, I like that.
Did you read it?
No.
Oh, well, thank you for contributing to the ho-ho hosts. And let's go to the North Poles.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I like this. Okay, number 1, don't look. Did you look?
No.
I saw your eyes
My
wandering.
eyes went over, but I didn't see.
Yeah. Poll number 1, Christmas Day or festive season? The 2 options were all about the day for me or just the period surrounding Christmas. What won and by how much?
Period surrounding Christmas. 90. No, 95.
Do you know what? 100% of people said the period surrounding Christmas, the festive season. Not one person said the actual day.
Wow.
I'm not sure we've ever had that before. 100%. Like, we're in unison.
Like, I bet every person that voted thought they were the only voter.
Yeah, I would think that.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting because I actually did vote myself for the period surrounding Christmas. What would you vote for? I'm not sure if you did vote.
You say your bit.
No, I want to know your
So
answer.
I was thinking that originally, I was like festive period, like 1,000%. And then like, I was thinking about it and I actually do really appreciate Christmas Day, and I think I understand that like it's a popular opinion that the festive period is better because I think there's a lot of pressure on Christmas Day being perfect. However, I like Christmas Day is one of the only days a year that like me and my family actually like sit together for like the whole day.
Yeah.
So And like I don't get that on like Christmas Eve. Do you know what I mean? Like we all sit down and watch a film, which we do probably like a handful of times a year. Like, so I actually, if I thought about it long enough, I probably would vote for Christmas Day. But I do really like the festive period.
I actually agree with you, where it's like, in theory I pick the festive season, but it's slightly more like nuanced than that. I said I go between, because sometimes I think, and we'll go into pressure a bit more in a bit, but you know, just because you can't choose when Christmas Day comes around, sometimes that surrounding month is particularly busy, particularly stressful, or like you haven't really had the time to particularly get into this spirit. So holding on some excitement for just one day is kind of nice. And I don't know, like, student-wise or like other people's perspectives, but from like a full-time work perspective, I've said it's nice to have that proper like allocated day off that you know, well, obviously I didn't know if I would get it off this year, but now that I know, that is allocated a time off. And I know it's not the most festive perspective, but just to say that you have that day off is really nice, a day off that you can actually be somewhere else and do whatever you want, and like that time is completely like what you make it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I need a notebook. I think
that was a lowercase scream.
Yeah. I think Christmas Day gets a lot of like stick. But I don't think it should, because it still is a nice day.
It is a nice thing to look forward to, like, obviously then you can extend it more with the festive period. However, just having that one day, it's like, I guess it is, we'll go into like children a bit more later, but like, you're like 5 sleeps till Christmas, 4 sleeps till Christmas. It is really sweet to just have a countdown to something in particular, so things don't get sort of like lost in the season.
Yeah.
I do think going on to the main con of things is that word like pressure. I feel like that is the buzzword of the whole day. And I've said this, there's so many different things that can lead to pressure of Christmas Day. One of them, it could even be as simple as a gift you were hoping to give someone doesn't arrive on time. And, you know, like, it's just a difficult one, because a lot of people, as soon as Christmas Day is over, like, that's it. You don't see, like, the rest of the festive time after.
Yeah.
Now, some people genuinely do. Until New Year's, they're still doing Christmas stuff, but it's not the same. So if the things don't arrive and you're not fully prepped in time for that day, that is so much pressure.
I think also the idea that, not to like counteract what you were saying, but the idea that like, just because it's Christmas you get time off, it actually doesn't work out like that.
Yeah.
Like last year, I actually remember working on my funding applications on Christmas Day, because I was like, I have to do it.
We FaceTimed doing work on Christmas Day last year.
Well, you did work, yeah.
Yeah, I was. I was revising for my exams.
And it was just like, I didn't not do things because of it, but I had things to do, and I was like,
the world doesn't stop.
No, and there was like that lull in the afternoon where there's nothing to do, and it's like, I have things to do. I'd rather do them now rather than have to do them on like a day where someone wants to do something.
And also some people do go to work, so I don't have to work this year, and our editor Becky will know this. I actually can't remember if she worked with me on this day or not, because we used to work at a hotel together. We worked on Christmas morning. I remember I got to take a Yorkshire pudding home.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was very pleased about that. But if you are working in sort of like the service industry, if you're in retail, you will get it off. But there's also knowing, if you have to work on Boxing Day, how much can you really enjoy Christmas Day? So the festive but then you've got like, you're probably going to be doing a lot of overtime. So once again, it is like the world doesn't stop. Things get busier.
People still have to work.
Things get busier throughout that period, just purely because of the build-up of the one day. So then it might be easier to start like relaxing and like trying the best to counteract it with festive things, so that you're not swept away and suddenly it's Christmas Day and you're like, oh my god, it's all like over.
I wonder if the reason why it's 100%, and this kind of leads into the next question, is because as adults we're kind of aware of these stresses and kind of the potential disappointment of putting all of like Christmas joy on one day. Whereas if we had younger people voting,
Yeah.
If we asked school kids, they would probably say Christmas Day. Because they get presents. And also, a lot of people see like family they don't normally see on Christmas Day. I don't.
A lot of things
But-
are weighted until that day.
Yeah, like I don't. My Christmas Day is like any other day, just like a bit more like family
Yeah.
orientated. But I don't see anyone special, like my immediate family. Don't see anyone like out of the ordinary. I don't majorly do anything out of the ordinary. It's just kind of like a celebration. Whereas for some people, Christmas Day is like you see all your cousins.
They go ham.
Yeah.
Some people will have like full-on parties in the
Yeah.
evening. And this is what we're going to do in the future. So then maybe if you ask us this in 10 years' time, we might say Christmas Day. So we'll be like, that's the like the hoedown throwdown of the year.
Yeah, that's lit.
Yeah, because we want to essentially... When you guys think about Christmas and stuff, do you ever consider other people having families? Because we're going to get all our friends together, everyone, all the kids, all the husbands, the wives, everything. We're all just going to have like this huge thing. We're going to be playing like spin the bottle and stuff. Not for real, but like that's been in our
That
head.
vibe.
Yeah, like absolutely like lit. So in that sense, I'd be like, I don't care about the 2 weeks to that. Because that, I know when
I've got
it is.
everything resting on that one
Yeah.
Christmas party on Christmas.
7 p.m. in our Santa dresses, got a spiked eggnog. Is eggnog already alcoholic?
I think so.
Okay, we'll get a spiked eggnog, get some like Baileys in ya, and it's gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
But then I also said this is counteracting that, because if you get like lit on Christmas, then this is a pressure in itself. It could be as simple as your makeup goes wrong on Christmas Day, or the outfit that you had prepped that you know you want to wear on Christmas Day, it doesn't look as good. Or you get, for instance, a dress or a top or a skirt or whatever for Christmas Day, and you ask for that, and that's your main thing, and then you try it on, you're like, okay, well that's done now. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't what I wanted it to be, or like it actually doesn't slap with the shoes I thought it was gonna go for, and then it can almost lead to disappointment if you put a lot of pressure on that one day, or the things contained within that one day. And also,
I can't imagine having that because I don't dress up or anything for Christmas.
I don't particularly.
So I'm like, wow.
I put like, this wasn't like pressure on myself, but last year was the first time I ever did sparkly ribbon tied within plaits, and I was just like, if it goes wrong, I take it out and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So if you can take away some of the pressures just by being like, by telling yourself it's just one day of the year and it's not really that deep. I guess it depends how much you celebrate Christmas for religious reasons, or how much you see it as just like, it's just a laugh, it's just a bit of time to spend, like a bit more chill.
Yeah, it's giving like bank holiday.
Yeah, because like, yeah, you'll be taking like pictures, you'll be potentially seeing more people, or just seeing the people you've not seen in a while, whatever. But if you just think like, whatever. I also said, and this was for the argument of the festive season over the day, and it does go back to like, once it's done, it's done. However, if you know you're going to Winter Wonderland on the 13th, and then you're going to the Christmas lights on the 15th, and then you're going home on the 22nd, but you're going out for a nice meal on the 24th, like, they're all festive things. Even if you're not self-proclaimed like, I'm a festive person, you can start like spreading it out, and you'll be like, wow, like I've looked back at this Christmas time, I've had a really nice time.
Yeah.
And then it gets to Christmas Eve and you're like, you know what, whatever does happen tomorrow,
Yeah.
I did all of the nice things. Like, we've already seen some Christmas lights. I feel a bit more festive now in this little setup. And like, we're going to go to Winter Wonderland, so it's a bit more like, although I don't feel that Christmassy, it has begun.
I think the festive period forces you to make plans and do more. Like, I feel like you get a lot of pressure to see people because you need to see them before Christmas and things like that, and you want to do this and do that. I think it gives you an excuse to do something.
It's like,
So whether you're like you said, whether you're doing it to be festive or whether you're doing it because there's things to do, either way you're still enjoying the time period.
it's almost like Christmas is this like centre of gravity that you can start like prepping things around, even if you don't care at the end of the day about Christmas and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we went to see Wonka last night, and it's not necessarily a Christmas thing, but it did feel kind of like
festive.
the festive season. Yeah, my final point, it goes back to what you were saying about like siblings and stuff. If you have younger siblings, like if I had a little brother or sister that was like every night they're like, I can't wait for Christmas, it's going to be so magical, even if you don't necessarily believe it yourself, it might like come onto you slightly. It might, they might be spreading that festive cheer to you even if you don't realise.
I was talking to our housemate about this because she's got younger siblings, and I was like, God, it must just be so like magical. And she's like, yeah, it is, because they obviously like still get really excited by it. So I think you kind of get to live vicariously through them.
Yeah, definitely. I have some from you guys as well. So once again, the pressure is too much for the day. It needs to be perfect. The lead up is way more relaxed. Someone else said the vibes are just so good, and sometimes the actual day doesn't live up to expectations, but like the surrounding vibes can really make up for it, which is true. Like we were saying, like if you do everything beforehand, even if things go, not necessarily go wrong,
Don't go as planned.
just are a bit like business as usual, then it can still be like, I had a good time. Someone said the day is very anticlimactic, but worth it for the scran. And that actually, it leads me to this point which I noted down, is some things you do genuinely wait for the day, such as, you know, you can have we'll have a Christmas meal or something, but it's not the Christmas meal, like you have like the thing, and that doesn't have to be like a roast, because some people get a takeaway or pizza or whatever like you choose to have as your like Christmas meal. That is still like designated and special, because you're looking forward to whatever meat substitution you can get on it.
Yeah, so I like always get corn roast for my roast dinners, like I always do. But on Christmas Day I normally try to have something different. But one thing I had that I'll never replace is that one we had in the old house.
It was something like square or something, right?
Yeah, it was almost like stuffing vibes, wasn't it? Wrapped in like veggie bacon.
It's a time to be slightly more like decadent.
Yeah.
It's making me hungry thinking about it. There's other things, like this is such a like silly little thing to add, but something else I wouldn't do except for on Christmas Day is genuinely sit at the TV and look at what's on the TV guide. Like I do not do that any time of day, but they designate special things on Christmas Day. What's on? Would I send you something being like roll on 3:10 p.m.
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Like I wouldn't wait for a specific time to watch a specific thing because we have on demand.
Yeah.
I actually know I could watch Toy Story at any time, but I'm like, it's Christmas Day, like
It's on the TV.
Yeah, it's on the big TV. Like, we don't have real-time TV, so going home and actually like even when I go home I only watch The Chase or whatever, but I'll watch Netflix at home. But on Christmas Day I will see what's on. EastEnders Christmas special. I've been watching TikToks at the minute. Someone's been going through the storylines from the last year to prepare you for the Christmas special. But you weren't really one for soaps.
No, I'm not. But I
Something about
appreciate the
it.
excitement of like a Christmas special. I used to know the Doctor Who Christmas special. That was the one that I kind of subscribed to.
I don't know if EastEnders still does it, and I know I'm reaching out to a very niche portion of like the UK audience here, but like something about it being filmed live and broadcast live made it so much better. Yeah, and you know what? There was this one year where I remember watching it in real time, and you can't not cringe. The woman called the guy by the actor's name, not the character's name, in a really serious moment, and like you can almost see in her face that, you know, you just don't, you can't go back or do anything, you have to carry on. And there was another time where someone like fell or jumped off the roof and died, and it was live, and you could see that finger twitching, and like you can't edit that out after, like you just know. And there's something about like the horror of live TV on Christmas Day that you can't have. Like you can't have that throughout the period. They're not going to do like 3 weeks worth of
live.
Just wouldn't do that. And I also said things just slow down, like it is just a nice thing,
A nice reset.
So I think overall on that point is kind of like what you set out, what you want Christmas to be, because it can meet expectations, it doesn't have to be anticlimactic.
Yeah, it depends on your expectations, isn't it? Like
if you want a lit Christmas but you never do that, you've not made Christmas plans, and you're planning to just sit in bed all day, then you're probably going to be like, that's anticlimactic. But if you're like, I don't want to do anything, I want to get my fudge from my stocking, get into bed and just be for the day, then that's going to hit your mark, because that's like what you want from it. Anything else to add on that point?
That's a good point.
Thank you. We'll go on to the next one then. The next question is, think about experiencing Christmas as a child versus adulthood. I know I said
That doesn't even grammatically make sense.
as a child versus adulthood.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't care. Sorry, we had them checked over. Has Christmas changed for you? The 4 options were, it's still as magical for me, it's different but equally as enjoyable, you defo have to work more for excitement, or the magic is gone. What do you think one?
You definitely have to work more for enjoyment.
Yeah, can you say like a percentage?
70.
Oh, I wish you'd have gone lower because I really thought you were going to
really
say
said
60.
60.
You should have. 60% of people said you definitely have to work more for excitement. 20% of people said it's different but equally as enjoyable. No one said it's still as magical. I am gutted by that.
That's unfortunate.
I was really hoping there'd be
This
few
is the one where
people.
everyone's going to be pre-told. Like,
Yeah.
this is the episode where everyone's going to vote for the like.
I am heartbroken by this. 20% of people said the magic's gone. Completely. I think, personally, it is different. You definitely do have to work for it more. I wouldn't necessarily say the magic is gone, but it definitely feeds through in different ways.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think. I don't know, I didn't think of it as what I was going to vote, so I feel like I'm a bit annoying. But I don't know, I think I obviously enjoyed Christmas as a child, and I feel like I say this all the time, but I enjoy it a lot in London because there's so much to do and it's very like grand.
I've never heard you say that word, like,
I've never said that
emphasise.
to you. Grand.
I'd obviously say grand, but I don't know.
Grand.
Grand opening, how would you say that?
Grand. No, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
She's falling into Leicester.
But I used to do like a London trip with my mum at Christmas, but like now it's kind of fun that I don't have to do a Christmas London trip. Like I just live in London. So I feel like I like Christmas more in that aspect.
Yeah.
Because there's more to do and I'm kind of exposed to it more than I kind of was as a child. Like I know you did do things in school, but it's a bit different when you're, I don't know.
Do you feel, not to like interview you, but this is the difference between us, is I'm a younger sibling, you're an older sibling. Do you feel like your Christmas was extended at all because you had a younger sibling?
No.
And I know there's only a year in it. Do you think it would have been more if you had like a 4-year age gap or anything? Not that you can really predict that, but...
No, I can't say because me and my brother
It's similar
are
age.
such similar ages that
Yeah.
I had one Christmas without him.
Wow, do you even remember that?
No.
Oh, that's so
But I
interesting.
bet I was spoiled rotten.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I had a birthday as well. I had a Christmas and a birthday. I was a little
Alright for
child.
some. I was the 4th, so
Yeah, you've never even come close.
I was shocked the other day because Mum thinks she has some tapes of me as a child, which I like when you look through all of in even like Christmas things and stuff, you know, like the more kids you have, like the less, the first kid, like, I bet you have so many pictures of you. Like the same with my oldest sibling, like there's everything's of him, like not in a jealousy way, I understand, but like it's just crazy to think that there might actually be some tapes of me. Like,
yeah.
imagine hearing me like speak as a kid. That's
What?
just mental. Yeah. I don't know what my first word was though. My mummy or something, I don't know. I know. Yeah, I think I do feel sad about the Christmas period, and I won't dwell on it, but like I do say it a lot to you, like something about the festive period, like, as an adult, like I don't, or from what I can remember, I don't remember feeling sad about it as a child, but I feel very sad about like not everyone being able to celebrate equally, and you know, like so many things like financial reasons and stuff like factor in, but I won't dwell on that because I'm aware that that is very, very like not happy for this festive episode. So to get that out of it, like, well, let's just like disregard that for now, even though I do feel like that plays a part for me. I think it's really different. You said now that you live in London, the difference between like if you live at home with your parents, siblings and whatnot, or if you live here, because we kind of choose what we make it. You know, like we could between us decide we're not going to decorate, we're not going to have these lights which have fallen, we're not going to put these dresses on, we're not going to really acknowledge it. Therefore, it's not going to be forced upon you in any way. You could go about everything the same, but if you're with parents who will put the tree up regardless, or like a sibling who's like always want to go to the grotto or something. Did you ever go to the grotto?
Probably.
I feel that like in my soul that the grottos around where you live were probably like really good because you were like rural, and it wasn't like Santa had to go like
into a car park,
into town. Yeah, he didn't have to go up the parking 6 levels just to get a spot. Another point is, and if you are a child, don't listen to this next bit, but I think like this is your time now. You have like 4 seconds until I say it. One of the big differences in Christmas between childhood and adulthood is obviously Santa not being real, because that is one of the hugest points of like making a child excited.
Yeah.
Do you know when you found out?
I knew for so long, and me and my brother lied to my parents that we believed, because my mum always said that when we figured out that like if we ever stopped believing, we wouldn't get presents anymore.
Well, but you still want a present.
Yeah, so me and my brother would just like have this unspoken pact that like we still believed. And my parents are the kind of people who would like joke about it and would just be like, oh yeah.
How old were you at this time? Like, how long did that go on for?
I can't like think of an age, but it went on for like so long. And then over the past few years, it must have been like 3 years ago now, my parents were like, right, well, we're not doing stockings now.
What, because you know?
And like, well, it was always known that we knew, because obviously we were like not children anymore. But they were just like, it's just like too much hassle, and that they're just pointless. And yeah, it was quite a like topic of debate in my house. Like, it didn't go down well.
So that's how you knew you were an adult.
It was, because I wasn't getting a stocking anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had to come forward and say that you know that he was
I don't think we
real.
ever said it. I think it was just like
be for real.
Yeah.
Like, we all know.
Yeah.
I remember, like, in my head, because obviously I was the youngest, I think everyone knew, and they were kind of like, she doesn't know. But I was like, I don't know. Obviously, as a child, when you were told, you do believe. But when I got to like 7 or 8, I was thinking like, I don't think this is like a possible thing, because you know how it would be like, oh, if you're not asleep by midnight, like he's not gonna come, like he's gonna know, or like you'll hear the sleigh bells ring or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd just be awake and I'd be like, nothing is happening. Like, and I'd hear my mum downstairs wrapping presents on Christmas Eve, and I'd be like, be for real, like I don't know what you're trying to lie to me about, but something's like not adding up here. Like, I don't understand even what the lie is.
Our stockings had bells in, so it sounded like when they were moving them that they were upstairs.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then my dad kind of sat me down one day, and like, we don't do that. And then he was like, is there anything you want to ask me? And I was like, asking him the funniest question, because he like had me like sat here, and I went, am I too heavy? And he was like, no, like, what? And I was like, I know what it says. Is Santa real? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, am
I too heavy? How old were you?
We were like 8 or something.
Imagine saying an 8-year-old dad of you, like, have you got anything to ask me? You found out when you were 8.
I don't know if it's 8 per se, but it's like,
you were a child.
I know it must have been like, you can't go up to, because you know how I went up to like high school the year before you would have. I think it was very much like, you can't go up to the next school, like
Santa's
no,
real.
like you can't do that, because like, no, you'll get bullied, but like
you'll find out.
You will be told. I'm surprised, like if you don't already know, that is when you'll find out. So it's probably best to, you think, hear it from like your parent than like some random like year 9 who like, you believe in Santa. But yeah, so he was just like, no, and I was like, okay, well, that feels very anticlimactic, because I'm not gonna start crying. You know how some people are genuinely so shocked and stuff, and I'm like, but what do you mean? Like, I don't
it makes sense when you know you know.
Yeah. Having said that, the one thing that I'm a bit like that's kind of the gag is the Santa tracker.
Yeah. My mum still watches the Santa tracker.
I go on it.
She loves it. Yeah, she watches it every year.
Because I genuinely think it's clever because it's obviously tracked to time zones and stuff. The way you can see him bounce around, like, I really admire.
And the clips. that when he was in certain places, and like the excitement when you knew there would be a new clip, you'd be like,
Yeah.
and then it'd be just like ho 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 and at the sky. Oh,
and like
incredible.
when he's about to leave Lapland and stuff, and it's like, I remember thinking like, you're in France right now, and then he just goes somewhere else, and I'd be like, why are you not like, I don't understand.
I
what
wanted
route
to
of
see the Santa tracker go over us so badly. Like every year I tried so hard.
But it'd be like, if you, that would ruin the magic, is like,
well,
if you knew he was in your country.
Is it even possible?
What?
Because it tracks your location, so it would know.
It would know if you're looking at it from like the location.
Yeah.
Oh, so would that mean that if you looked at it in the UK and then you looked at it in Australia, do you see different things?
Well, I actually don't know the science behind the Santa tracker.
I don't. And this is why, that's the one thing I'm
I
like,
also
that's the gag.
did you ever play the Build-A-Bear Christmas games?
Not that I can remember.
Oh my god. Build-A-Bear had this like online, it was so like ahead of its time, it had this like online reality, and you could play obviously like typical games, like typical like PC little games, and then at certain times it would be like, ask an elf, and it would be a real live person dressed up as an elf on like a live stream, and you could put in comments and they would respond to your comments, and I was obsessed.
Do they still do that?
I don't think they do anymore. We can look into it.
We will.
But I was so, every year it would open up again and I would be on there every single day. It was so good.
If they still do that, I'm going to ask the elf if they're a barb. See what they
Surely
say.
they can't do that anymore.
I wish like viewers of Blonde Vibrations had like a short name like that, like, are you a barb?
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not so sure.
You're blonde.
Yeah.
But like...
And then they'd be like, I've got elf coloured hair, do you know what I mean? I don't know what, ginger? No, the gingerbread man. No, because I saw a TikTok being like, I'm crying so much right now because I know my ginger friends are going to get taken away to become gingerbread men. That's so nasty. But yeah, obviously I think Santa's not being real really is the like the nail in the coffin for the pure magic.
I just miss like when you were too excited to sleep, or like when you'd wake up at 3 a.m. and you wouldn't be able to go back to sleep because you were so excited. Like you don't get that anymore. Like if we have like an event, I'll wake up early and I'll be awake.
Yeah.
But like I never have it that I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Like jittery.
I just can't sleep. I'm so excited. Like I only get that for like anxiety.
And like you'd wake up so early and you know you'd be annoying anyone else if you like got up and was like, let's go, it's Christmas, like, but the second that you wake up you just can't possibly like fathom trying to go back to sleep. But now it's like we'll probably be on FaceTime past midnight and then I'll go get myself like some chocolate from downstairs at like 12:30 and I'll run into my mum and be like, oh, Merry Christmas, and then we'll be like, I'll see you tomorrow then. But there's no like,
my parents are waking me up at like 10.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And I still probably am the one that would like to get up the earliest, but that is because that's just when I would naturally
Gosh, do you
want
know
to get
how
up.
long me and my parents sit downstairs waiting for my brother to get up?
Really?
Yeah. And he does it on my birthday as well. And it's like I'm sat there waiting to open my presents and I'm like,
yeah.
it's time to go.
One thing that I'm like, can you just wait? You know, because it's like, oh, you go down like your pyjamas or whatever. My brothers have showers before going downstairs and stuff, and I'm like, it's Christmas, like, what do you mean? Like, this is where I feel like I can claim some of the magic back, so I'm like, go down in your PJs and oh, it's all cute.
Do you
No
feel
one's
like
really
I
awake
go
yet.
through like phases of like getting the camera out?
Mm.
And like there was like a moment there where I was like, if you're gonna like do a whole photo shoot, I'm gonna put some makeup on. Like, I used to go down there with like messy hair, like.
Oh, I put my contact lenses in, I'm not gonna lie. The one thing that Santa's not gonna see me in glasses, that's for sure.
He sees you all the time.
He sees you when you're sleeping.
And when you're awake.
Creepy.
Like, so he's probably seen you in glasses before, and Santa doesn't see you on Christmas morning anyway.
Maybe this is why I wasn't really like a Santa, like I was a Santa believer. Like if my parents are listening to this and they're thinking like you loved Santa, I mean like slightly later on, like what do you actually mean he can see you at all times? Because he's not.
Like how can you watch everyone all the time?
He's not like a ghostly being. Like, yeah.
Omniscient.
He is seen as like a person. So how is that actually possible? You'd have to go like beyond so many realms to allow that to happen. Like he would have to be like a godlike figure. But then I don't know the like religious side of it enough to know if
Is
any
he
of
religious?
it.
No.
I honestly have no idea. But yeah, in that sense, the magic is gone. But, and I think this is like a really sweet point to make, is that it can come out in the forms of like more mundane real life magic, not so much like elves and Santa and like flying reindeer and just presents appearing in the morning. But like, there's the magic in being like, I've got something really sweet, or like I baked this good, or like my little bow the little bows I'm going to put in my hair at Christmas morning probably, or like just the sweet little like
I'm doing all 4 red bows.
Yeah, like just the sweet little things of it, or like I have some festive PJs that I'm probably going to put on the night before, or like the little bauble you brought, like that's the like where the magic can come in like an adult term. Like magic doesn't just have to be like believing in things. It could be the things that are like right there in front of you. I'm right here. Do I feel magic to you?
What's the next question?
That is the next question. Does Eliz feel magic to you? Like that is the next question.
Okay.
Okay. And I also said like finally it is just nice to have your own like adult traditions and preferences and stuff. Like you can then choose to build magic. Like we already have our future plans, like we were saying earlier. That's gonna be magical. The eggnog and such. It's magic. The next poll was, and this is such an interesting one, is do you feel...
Sorry, I didn't read it though. So just mix up the order.
Do you feel pressured when it comes to gift giving? The 4 options were, I struggle to show my love through presents, gift giving is my love language, love, 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 hate, or great if the idea comes to me immediately.
Great if the idea comes to me immediately.
Can you put a figure to that?
No, 75.
Oh, you're so close but so far in all of these. 78% of people said, great if the idea comes to me immediately. 22% said, gift giving is my love language. I didn't think that would be quite so high. And then no one actually said they either hate it or completely struggle to show their love, which, we'll dwell on the positives of that, is people either like it or they like when it comes easy to them. What would you say?
Probably the most popular one. I think I enjoy it in theory. Get very stressed out in like the final stages of like actually ordering things or actually buying things, because I think what if something better comes along, or like is the person actually going to like this, or is it just going to stay in their house forever? But at surface level I enjoy buying presents and I enjoy seeing people open presents.
I said I think there definitely is a pressure, and it's also a pressure of how you are perceived, because you perceive me as a good gift giver, so there's already that added layer of like whatever you pick's going to be good, as opposed to not really having expectations for someone. But I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but like you actually can only be as good of a gift giver as the material in front of you. You know, like I can give you good gifts. I know you, so like we talk about things all the time. So in theory, you should really be able to be a good gift giver to me as well.
Yeah.
But if you've just kind of got this person, they like their things, but they don't have like, I want this so bad. Like a million times a day, we'll send each other a TikTok or something and be like, I want this. So it's very easy to store things or get inspiration from the kind of thing that you might want. If someone's just like, yeah, I do my thing, I'll go to work, and then I'll do that. And it's a bit like, well, I don't know how to like crack into like what can expand on that. Then it can be really difficult.
Or like you feel like you have to get them one because they've got you one, and you're like, oh crap, I've not planned or not thought.
There's also like a pressure on the other side of things. If you are a good gift giver, sorry, you might see my knees. If you are a good gift giver, then sometimes there's a little bit of like, I don't want to go too overboard, and not in a materialistic, because I might not get anything back way, but if you actually genuinely put a lot of effort into the act of getting something for someone and they don't reciprocate it, if you have spent weeks and months crafting this really loving gift and then you know that they just got you like a bath bomb, and the bath bomb is really good, like it's not to say that you won't like appreciate it, but it is just a little bit like, oh, you don't know me as well as I thought you did.
I also think it makes an awkward dynamic, doesn't it, if you like just read the assignment slightly differently.
Yeah, like, you don't feel that there's been, like, a reciprocation of, like, love or effort, and it's not to say that there isn't effort in going out and getting someone that bath bomb, but if I don't own a bath, and you've got me that, then, like, have you actually listened to anything I've said over the year? Because maybe I've been really open about, like, I wish I had a bath, but then you just get that because you've had, like, oh, I think she likes to take baths, so we'll just get her that then that's a little bit like, oh, okay. I do think as well, like, not all the time, because you obviously do have to think about what you get for someone. There's a lot of pressure if the gift in the mind doesn't come, like, naturally to you.
I have this.
Yeah, because, and this is if you are in, like, a privileged state, and we're all adults here, if you want something a lot of the time, you will buy it.
Yeah.
You will get it, you have the funds to, and the same with, like, people you don't see that often. That we see each other so much, and you will still get the things you want. It's a bit like, oh, I could have got you that for Christmas, but you purchased it, and that's what I wanted to get you, and then you got it. So now what? And the same with people that you don't see as well, like, as much even. Like, if they want something, they will probably get it. Maybe in October, November. Like, the Black Friday sales happen just before people start, like, asking for things, and it's like, and then when you come around to being like, do you have a list for me? Like, do you have some ideas? And they're like, no, like, I get what I get already.
Yeah, my brother's like that.
I think that's what I have with my brothers as well, because, like, they work, so if they want to get something, they will work and then get it. And it kind of is the same for us as well, because we will get each other things throughout the year, or we'll buy treats for ourselves throughout the year, that then it gets to Christmas, it's like, oh, someone could have possibly got that for me, but I got it for myself, so, like, now what? But I think this is probably my, like, gift giving love language tip, is I genuinely do note things down throughout the year.
Yeah, I think that's, like, the key to it.
And I will use you as a example again, because you're right there, and we do talk a lot, is that if I know that you want something, and it is the kind of thing that you'll forget, and also the kind of thing I'll forget, I'll note it down, because then it will be more of, like, a genuine surprise as well, instead of me saying to you, do you still want that thing, by the way?
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, God, I haven't thought about that since April.
And also I think when you're in the moment, I had this year for Liz, is that I'm so aware of everything she wants, but when you sit down and there's not a list, it's like, oh my gosh, what on earth am I going to get? And then you just randomly think of something, whereas if you just have a list.
Yeah, even if you look at the list now and you're like, oh, well, I know she doesn't really want that in that way, but it inspired, like, she said this after, and I remember, oh, now that sparked the, like, synapses and saying, like, now I know she wants this instead, or this, whatever. I also think, and this is such a, like, frustrating, like, not pressure, but, like, just add-on annoyance, is that if I can't then succeed in what I want to get that person, like, there's a pressure of, like, even though I know that you don't know that I wanted to get you that, the fact that I now can't get you that, it feels like I failed.
I had this with Elizabeth's birthday one year. It was just before, it was when jelly cats were first getting popular, but before everyone had them, and Eliz really wanted one, and they were impossible to get in the UK, but you know when you're like, no, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to find it, and it's going to be so cool because they're so rare. And I was on so many wait lists. It got to the point where I ordered you two, and then they were like, okay, it's like on pre-order. Oh, that's fine. It was still going to come in time for your birthday, ever so slightly. And then literally like a week before your birthday, they cancelled my order, and I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, it's bit like, I've not got anything else because I just spent all of my, like, budget on these jelly cats that have just been cancelled. Like, oh.
I had, like, a similar thing for your birthday this year. I had this idea, like, down. I wanted to get her a Vivienne Westwood rabbit, and it was a limited drop, limited edition, like, I don't know if they'll ever come back, this necklace, and it was literally, like, gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then I waited.
Was it Selfridges?
Yeah, it's Selfridges exclusive, no less. And I was like, I'm ready. I'm getting this bunny if it's the last thing I do. And then obviously everything everything that I just explained goes to show how rare it was. And oh god, it annoyed me so much, because then when I started to look at like other rabbits, because it was like I think it was a year of the rabbit thing as well, but I wasn't getting it for the year of the rabbit. I was getting it because, you know, Alice in Wonderland, hello. So I was like, hello, like she is basically Alice, yeah. So then I started to look up like rabbit necklaces, and I was like, oh, they're like, what's it, enamel neck? Like no, this one was like plated. It was like
into like the line also where it's like, are you just getting it for the sake of it? Because you can get the other one.
Yeah.
What did you get me in the end?
I can't remember. I'll have a think. I know I got you matcha stuff, but I got you a few things. I got you rose jam. Yeah. I got you.
My frame.
Oh, I did do well.
Yeah, you did well.
Like, because I was going to get all of those things on top anyway. Because I like to go overboard. But yeah, I was like looking at all of these, and I was like, if I can't do it the way I want, I will not do it. I'm not getting you this. I'm not having you sit there on your birthday and open up this tat. Like, in comparison, like, if I had wanted it in the first place, it would have been fine, because they were still nice.
Yeah.
And like some of them, there's not like I was just going to like the pound shop and being like, fine, rabbit. Like, it just wasn't how I wanted it. So then there was the added pressure of like, whatever I get you as a replacement, I know in my heart, and also I do want to tell you, you know, if it's something that like, it will come back in stock, I'll wait till Christmas, I'll get it then, so I don't have to mention it, nothing's ruined. It has never gone back in stock.
Yeah.
I messaged Selfridges. I was talking to them being like, when are you bringing this back? I need to know. I want to get it. Put me on a wait list.
Like please.
Like, get me
Check
in that
the stock
queue.
room.
Yeah, I was like, is there any way? Can I be contacted if someone returns it? And they were just like, it's not coming back.
Like, no one's returning that.
I was like, oh, alright. Not to worry then. I'll just cry and think of myself as like the worst friend ever.
The worst gift buyer is like one of the best gift buyers I know.
It's so annoying. All this year, we've not exchanged gifts this year yet, but we have actually got each other things.
Yeah, mine was say, you know, when it's like a bit too long of delivery time, and it's like, why is it taking that long? And it was something like 6 to 10 working days, and I'm like, what do you mean 6? And I've not had a dispatch thing, and I'm like, why is it taking you so long to dispatch it though?
Yeah, I had
like,
the
I'm
same
getting a bit twitchy, but yours has come, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I knew that was gonna come. I ordered something. Oh. She's trying to like pinky promise me something, and it will come in time. I ordered something for my dad, and it was in the same basket, and one thing immediately the day after dispatched. The next thing I looked at was like 10 days, and I was like, I ordered you at the same time, you're from the same store, like what are you on about? And like, I gave my brother a link to something earlier, knowing full well it's from America and it's not coming in time. The Claro hoodie, like, I don't know why I've given that to him.
Yeah, but I think because you're chill, your family's chill with presents, which is surprising with you as a gift buyer.
I don't think things need to necessarily come on time, which I know I was saying earlier on in the episode, it's stress when they don't, but if I'm getting things for other people, I want them to come on time.
Yeah.
If people get things for me and they don't come on time, do not care. If anything, I love having a little extra later.
The difficulty is that my family do like it's nice to unwrap things all together vibe. So it's not necessarily like we all spend loads of money. In fact, like this year, we've all said that we're not doing expensive presents for whatever reason. And we like my mum. Mums always do all the shopping. My mum wants everyone to have presents to unwrap, and she wants there to be an even amount.
Yeah. And
she always finds it really difficult, not to put words in her mouth, but she always finds it really difficult because I give a long list of things I want. Not in like I'm expecting loads of things, but
the variety to pick
until
from.
Recently, I wouldn't buy myself things. So normally when Christmas came around, there would be a long list. Whereas nowadays, I see something, I want it, I get it. And she always used to find it really hard because she enjoyed buying me things and she enjoyed buying me clothes and whatnot. And then my brother just never wants anything, and she'd like have to figure out like the balance between spending the same amount of money, because me and my brother are so close in age, spending the same amount of money but having similar amounts to open. Yeah. And it is so hard. So I feel like I understand that in the same way. Like, you know, when it's your birthday and someone's like, it's not come, I'll give it to you next time I see you. I love that.
Yeah, it
Because
extends it.
I love it. I get a bit like overwhelmed when I have to open too many presents.
I hate opening things for people.
Especially, you know, when you don't expect it. And it's like close enough to your birthday, but like you've not expected it, and then someone just turns up with like a gift bag, and you're like, oh my god, like I've not like mentally prepared. But that being said, I love watching people open presents. So I'm like my own worst enemy. Because I hate opening presents, but I love seeing other people open presents.
I don't know if like we've spoke about this before. I can't think of when the last time we spoke about like opening presents and stuff, but like someone said this. I think my cousin might have said like, don't know why I'm explaining the story behind each thing as you're opening it. And I do that as well. You open it, like, if you're opening a present, I'll be like, I just thought, because you know, like when you said that thing.
You always say, like every time you walk past these eyebrow shavers, you want one, so I just bought them for you.
Yeah, because like, I knew you like that Harry picture, so I thought I should put it in the frame. And then you give me like...
But like, it was an absolute nightmare. They only took cash and I didn't have cash.
And I'm like, you know, I was actually carrying that Harry picture around in my bag for like 2 weeks whilst getting to work.
But I love it. I think that's one of the best parts, and I think especially with us as a pair, we really struggle, especially when it comes up to like birthdays. I think birthdays are so hard as like a best friend, because everyone, especially for me, I can't keep secrets, and everyone obviously goes to the best friend to be like, do you have any ideas for Liz's birthday? And I'm like, yeah, this is what I've got.
Yeah.
These are some similar ideas, like what are you thinking? Like, do you want me to check to see if she's got anything? But then it means that I have so much information, and especially like we went over this in the independent thing like episode, like I don't do a lot of things on my own, so if I've had to go somewhere to go pick this up, I want to tell you the story of it. And that was the thing with the Harry print, was that Liz can tell me that she'd gone to the shop to go get it printed, and it was just like,
I kept being like to you before, like, I've done something goofy.
I've done something so funny, like I can't wait to tell you. And I'm like, can I have a hint? And you were like, no, because it's just going to give it away.
I think that's why I also enjoy giving gifts, is because like I give gifts with purpose. I'm not like a, I just get you a gift card because I needed to get you something. Like, that pains me.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't judge you if you did that to me. I would be a bit like, well, actually, to be fair, if you knew I wanted a gift card for something, if I kept saying how I wanted something from Urban Outfitters,
But not saying what you wanted.
yeah, and then they're like, well, you kept saying it, but I didn't know what to get specific, I'll be like, yeah, valid, like, I'm so thrilled with that. But if it was just a like, oh, I don't know.
I think we're both very easy to buy presents for.
We just like
You're
things.
a little bit hard, but you're hard in theory, not in practice.
I'll
Like, you're hard to think about, but you'll like anything.
I like anything, but I actively don't like people going out of their way to get things for me. So like,
It makes it a hard process.
I would truly not tell people things, or like, mum's like to me, what do you want? And I'm like, nothing, don't. And I said to her, if anyone asks what I want for Christmas, the answer's fudge. Because I was like, I can't, I'm not doing
She's
this
allergic to the fudge.
So mum's like, you really like that fudge, don't you? I was like, yeah, I had an antihistamine the last time I had it, but it was so worth it. And you know what? What am I going to do on Christmas? That's what it's going to be. There's going to be no anticlimax, because the height of the day is going to be the fudge. I'm going to pop a few
Well, you tell
fudges.
so many people things that you want. Are you sure you're going to get any fudge?
I don't know.
Because, like,
I'll get back to you guys in the
for
new
someone
year.
that's a bit... We can say this. Basically, what's happened with Alyssa's presents is she's gone down the podcast route, and it means that, like, obviously once you open that, like, what is it, Pandora's box, we could upgrade the whole thing. You can rent us out a studio if you want. And like, Alyssa's gone in like the span of like 3 days to like, no, don't get me anything, to like, what's that TikTok audio, like, I want Gucci.
But I'm like, well, if you're gonna get something anyway, get this, because
Get
like that's
something-
what I'm
yeah.
just gonna buy anyway. But like, don't do it in a surprise way. Like, get this specific model. Like, go on then.
Like, I feel like you're either one or the other. Like, she won't. I like to check with people before I buy things. Like, before I got Alyssa's present, I was like, there isn't anything you desperately want, is there? Like, there's nothing I'm like that you're thinking, oh, I really hope Lily never gets me this. And she just refused to answer me.
I think it's
Because
because when it comes to like family and stuff, I will ask for the things that I know I want, because like then it's just like it's easier for everyone. I see you every day. I like the fun of like, you should know what to get me, right? Like,
That's
you
what
know,
she said to me.
like, you know me more than anyone. I shouldn't have to tell you, because I have ideas for you. Reciprocate it.
Yeah,
Like,
I've got
so
you
that's-
something. It's just lost in the mail.
Yeah, it goes to another school. It went to a different address. Did we tell you guys about my parcel that went missing?
I don't think we did. This is so funny.
Long story short is I did a Black Friday order on Amazon, got us an Echo Pop to share.
Because obviously we did the Echo whatever that we gave away. And never got one for ourselves, even though Eliz has always wanted one.
Yeah, so I was like, they went down to $17.99, I'll get myself a pop. And it's lilac as well, it's a great one. And just some other things, shared things, stuff for myself as well, a nice pair of tights. And then it says it was delivered, it's not, I get in contact with them and they're like, it's delivered, I'm like, it's
Goes
not.
around to all the neighbours.
Yeah, like, it's actually not. And I like just span this way up the street and no one has it or has any idea what I'm on about. So then I tell them and they decide to replace one item, but they will just refund me for the rest. Oh. Yeah. So then, all of it was free. So then the next day, they send me out a new pop, because that's the one thing they can replace, because it's their item. And then it's also not here. And then I look around, because they sent a picture in the end, and it's in the bin, surrounded by our rubbish. So I get it out and immediately have to like discard everything to do with it, because it just smells of rubbish. And that was like a week and a half ago at this point.
Yeah, and then when Eliz is at work, I don't put my glasses on in the morning. I'm very blind. Like, I'm very blind. And I don't put my glasses on because what am I going to see? Do you know what I mean? I'm going down to have breakfast. I don't need to see anything.
If not me, then who?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to have to make eye contact. So I'm sat there eating my waffle and there's a knock on the door and it's about the time that our postman normally comes. And this guy's still on the doorstep. He's like, I think these parcels are for you. And he's not in uniform or anything, but they're Amazon parcels, and obviously that like couriers aren't always in uniform. And I was like, oh, let me. And then obviously I had to get really awkwardly closed because I can't read it. And Liz's name is 4 letters, so it's not like it's standing out. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is. And he went, yeah, it got delivered to the wrong house. I went, oh my god, did it get delivered to that house? And he went, my house, yeah. So I was like, oh. And then I realised I've met this man before, because when I lost my parcel, I went to his house and I was like, is my parcel being delivered here? And they looked for ages and I was just stood on their doorstep. No.
Oh.
And it was that time the neighbour had it and just came and brought it around after I like had a breakdown over it. But because I didn't have my glasses on, I couldn't recognise his face and I thought he was a postman. I think he could tell, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, of course, because I spoke to you before. I had a nice little chat with him. And now we have
2 Echo Pops.
for the price of none.
And all of my items. It's really awkward. Like, you meant to tell Amazon once that's happened.
I guess not for the inconvenience.
True. Yeah, because if it was going to show up, then like that is fine. But
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't like lying, and for a minute I thought they'd put it in the bins and then the bins had been taken out.
And I said to the man across the road, I was like, well, it's crazy because they've clearly just gotten our doors mixed up. But the crazy thing is that the same housemate had a parcel the other day and they refused to drop it to her work because they had to deliver it to the same street.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how they've just, but you know, someone would have had to accept it.
Yeah, I said it was given to
Yeah.
resident. So why are you only coming? This I was like, why are you coming round a week and a half to 2 weeks later? Like, I obviously don't know you have it because it didn't say like, it wasn't like, oh, it's at X
Is
street.
it a neighbour?
Yeah, if I knew which street it was at, obviously I would
if it
come
even
to
said at a neighbour, you would try.
more neighbours.
Long story short, they've got the same door number as us.
Just
In like
different street.
like we can see them from our house, so it is like a common mistake. Like our
Delivery
caterers
drivers,
always
yeah.
go there and whatnot. God, I've tried to make you feel better not putting any jewellery on.
Thank you. I left all my jewellery at home, so I'm not cool for like 3 weeks.
God, guys, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we are.
No one cares about our parcel. That was a bit of platinum mixtape there.
I don't know what we were like chatting about
I was
there.
just saying your parcel's lost in the post, but it's not either. It's just not.
Oh, if things don't come on time, so be it. What are you going to do about it?
It's the thought that counts.
I think that's all I have to say
Yeah,
on
we need to,
the
like-
gift giving stage. And then the last open box question was just, I basically put further thoughts about presents, getting or giving presents, Secret Santa woes, stories about gifts. Secret Santa is such a controversial one.
I hate Secret Santa.
So this person said, Secret Santa is my pet peeve, especially at work. You end up buying something they'll probably never use, it's bad for the environment. I don't even know the person, I've been given very well. like hate. We'll go on to the other ones after, but I agree about this Secret Santa point, because if you know the person more than they know you, or vice versa, or whatever, it's never going to be equal, really. And why spend the budget? It's always a very small budget of like £5, get something gimmicky or whatever. But like, you might either think of something really cool in that budget and then get something like quote unquote bad back. Or like, can you even get anything meaningful for that price? Also, like, if you wouldn't naturally purchase the person something, should you really be forced to spend your like earned money, even if it is £10 budget,
and even
or
if it is reciprocated?
Like, and like, I wouldn't go out of my, we don't even work in the same like office or department. Why would I wouldn't go out of my way? I know nothing about you. Why do we have to like almost fake this like friendship almost?
Did you ever do it at school?
No.
Really? My
so.
form group at school used to always do it, and I hated it because the boys wouldn't put effort in. Like, I'm sorry to generalise, but like, every person that had a boy got like a bath set. I don't like baths. Like, I notoriously don't like baths. But the one time that I did succeed was I got I can't remember the backstory of how I knew this girl, but I met this girl when I was like a young child, like pre-high school, maybe at like a dance thing or like a choir thing or something. And you know, when you're young and there's like not even like a year old day, but like you don't have much technology, like, you lose contact with these people because what am I supposed to do as like a 6-year-old? Like, I'm never going to see you again. So we were really close friends, and like our parents were friends, and we just lost touch. And then we randomly just went to the same high school or something, and we like reconnected, and it was crazy. But then obviously high school is so long that like we then drifted apart again. And I got her for Secret Santa in 6th form, and I knew that she used to like, what was those books called about shadow hunters?
Oh, I know what you mean.
And I got her in 6th form, and I got her like a special edition or something, or like the new one, and she was like, I can't believe you remembered that. And that was the one success story I had, because I was like, that I don't even know how I remembered that. Like, I can't remember anything ever.
That's lovely.
And that was the one success story I had. I've never had another positive.
I did a Secret Santa, and it's somewhat the opposite end of that, because we know I like giving the gifts, and so I got someone, you know, when you have like a big group of people, it's just people you're naturally not going to be as close to. I got someone that
What
I
was
wasn't.
What was the scenario? Work?
Friends.
Okay.
So I'm going to be very careful about what details I give away here. I wasn't naturally as close to this person, but I really did my best with like what was given. And the person that got me, I knew me very well, and to keep it like PG or whatever, they got me like a gimmick gift from like an Ann Summers type beat, and like we were all opening it in front of everyone. I was like going red, and I was like, and everyone was like, oh, you're blushing, that's so funny, and I'm like, do I strike you as the kind of person that would like do well in that situation? Like, no. And I was like, I felt just a little bit like, what? Like, we're friends. Like, what do you mean?
Well,
Obviously, like,
this for
if you got me something like that and then made me open it in front of everyone, I was a bit like obviously I respect it as a thing. Like, okay.
That's funny.
But yeah, like, haha. But I'm like, but we had a budget, and like, you could have done anything. Like, whatever. Like, even anything like a fun law thing. Like, whatever, like, nerd. Like, anything like that. But I was a bit like, I was a bit slightly uncomfortable, but I wouldn't hold it against them, and I was a bit like, obviously I know it's all in jest. But if it would have been someone that really didn't know me, and then they got me something like awkward or something, I'd just be a bit like, wait, why are we doing this whole situation when other people in Secret Santa clearly know each other a lot more? I also said, like, what if you don't even like the person? Because
I think I probably had that at school before.
Natural politics of groups of people, workplaces and stuff, is there probably is going to be someone that you didn't get along with, you don't, or there's something underlying there that it's a bit like, I don't know what to get you because we don't even talk like that, and everything's gonna look sus. Like,
yeah.
everything's gonna seem like a small dig.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe I just shouldn't. And then you can't drop out because then that's obvious.
Yeah.
Someone said, and I assume this is like a Secret Santa situation. We know the situation, but my old manager buying me a blow-up boyfriend 1 month into the job. It's things like that it's like, you could easily, like, yeah, Secret Santa gimmick jokes are fun, but only if you know that person enough to, like, it's going to be funny on both ends.
Yeah.
Like, if my manager or supervisor got me that, I'd be like, ha ha ha, that's funny. But if someone...
That knew me a month.
Yeah.
And, like, is that the only, like, trait you picked up on me, is that I'm single?
Yeah, that's a bit like, what are you trying to say with that gift?
It's so, like, not, like, PC either.
Yeah.
Like, in this day and age.
Who's
like, oh,
to
you
say...
need a boyfriend. Like, what if she
What
was...
if she's gay?
Yeah.
Like, what then?
Well, I bet they would get a grow your own girlfriend one then.
Yeah. It's a awkward one. You know, like...
Imagine if you got a grow your own girlfriend, you weren't even gay. Oh, you'd be so just like, oh.
Like, is this what people think? Like, how do I come out as straight now? Like, what is this situation? It's so difficult, especially if you've gone down the safe route and then they get something back. And it's one thing if you know, like, some people would find that really funny if you know that's the type of person that you can go a bit far and that's whatever. Or in that case, if you were genuinely someone you walked around all the time being like, I need a boyfriend, someone get me a boyfriend, and the whole thing was like, oh, the office single, and you were in on it.
Yeah,
and then they got
and
you
were
that.
like close friends. I think,
and you were like, haha, like, that's so funny, I finally got a boyfriend.
Yeah,
like, that's funny.
I think Secret Santa only works if you're like a close knit team of either friends. I feel like we thought about doing it once, but we never. I can't remember who with.
I'm not sure who is.
But we considered doing it, and we didn't in the end. But I think it has to be like a group of friends where you know, like, there's no scenario in which someone's getting something for someone else that they don't know that well, or like, you know, like a really close team. You know, like if we had all of our little characters from Blonde Vibrations, we put like, well, no, because they don't know each other.
What, like, team?
I was gonna say if we had like us, Lizzie, Becky, Jasmine, like, that would be a nightmare.
Like, that's great for us because whoever we would get would be good, and everyone would know us.
each other.
But it's like at my work,
So we just leaked the whole team. Like, everyone's gonna be there like, Jasmine.
obviously,
Becky.
at my work, I have only been there a few months, and naturally, I see some people all the time, and some people I only see like once a week, if that. So it's like, if I was to then get those people, it's a bit like, this feels like unequal playing field, because the people, you all knew each other for years before I was even around, so you have this like lore. Everything you know about me is very modern day history, whereas you don't have the backstory of like, oh, you remembered, you know how like,
Well, it's
that.
like, someone told Alice the other day at work that she should be a lawyer. Which, like, if you listen to the last Champagne Whispers, you can imagine how that went down.
Yeah. I was like, I tried. It was fine because it was that person, but again, if it was someone that I really didn't know like that, I'd be like, what do you mean by that? But yeah.
I think my office has it nice. It's an opt-in scenario.
That's good.
So you can opt in for Secret Santa and it just kind of goes out in an email. It's probably quite, well, I don't know what it's like on the day, but I imagine it's quite subtle. You put the present on the desk.
Yeah.
And then that's that. I think that's nice that you don't have to do it. You know, because like, especially with, my job is that like a lot of people are new all the time. Like it swaps quite a lot. And you have people there who have only been there a couple months and they might just be like, actually I'd rather just like opt out.
Yeah.
Whereas like some offices are so
like you do some offices, been there a while.
Yeah, some offices you have to do it, and if you don't do it, then why are you not a part of
You're the odd one out.
The community? Why do you not want to buy like presents for your team? Like, I also think it's like a weird way of like higher up not just buying their staff Christmas presents.
Or like Christmas bonus.
Yeah, like I'd rather just have bonus. God, imagine if I got a Christmas bonus. What kind of
Done
do
it.
meeting?
True. That is
Sorry,
true.
you guys don't care about that.
She's got extra money.
Got
Stunning.
extra money, guys.
Yeah, with that situation, my Secret Santa story from earlier, if the blow would have been softened if I hadn't had to opened it in front of everyone. Someone else also said, like, with friends it can be awkward. Like, are we buying presents for each other? Are we not? If you get me one, do I have to reciprocate? It's not really, like, discussed.
It's also difficult, what kind of present. I mean, like, back in the day, if I had more time now, I would crochet everyone presents. And we wouldn't have this because we're both on the understanding that, like, presents aren't just, like, monetary value. But, like, sometimes people are like, oh, you've just, like, made me some mittens.
That homemade gift versus
But
nice
I just
perfume.
bought you the Vivian Westwood bunny necklace. Do you know what I mean? Like, things like that, like vibes. Like, vibe presents. Like, have they, like, oh, I'll take you out for a nice meal, and you've just gotten, like, I don't know, like, a perfume.
Yeah.
Like, is that, like, it's hard to match up, isn't it?
Because it's also,
especially for
like,
opening at the same time.
If you're, for instance, we'll go with this crocheting thing, are you taking into account, so if I went out and bought someone a really well-made crochet pair of gloves or something, and you could see a tag on it, are you taking into account the labour that you've actually endured? Because if you do a £40 pair of gloves, that is actually taking into account, like, for the most part, people working on it. But are you thinking, oh, this £40 budget, if I was doing it, it's taking me 3 hours, and that's, like, minimum wage, like, whatever, and then £5 for the materials? Or are you just thinking, £5 for the materials, what else have you done with that? Like, you know what I mean? It's very difficult. You almost have to, like, set these boundaries, but then how can you do anything, like, truly spontaneous? Because I actually wouldn't mind, you know, if there was someone that I, like, kind of hang out with, like, don't see them all the time, it's a bit like, you know, like a home friend, meet up with every few months, just happened to have a meet up around December, and I kind of thought, I saw this and thought of you. Don't feel any pressure to also, like, you don't have to reciprocate this. I wasn't necessarily going to go out to get you something, but I just saw that and thought, like, that's really quite you, and I don't think you have it. Just go ahead with that. Like, I don't think that's awkward, and the other person might, because...
But that's because you're a gift-giving person, isn't it? You don't think that's awkward because you enjoyed the process of buying it and giving it to them.
Yeah, but if someone got me something out of the blue, like, we're just meeting up and they were like, Merry Christmas, by the way, before I forget, I'd be a bit like, oh my god, were we doing that?
Yeah,
like,
I didn't pick up the vibe.
So it can be an awkward one, I think. Unless you don't feel awkward. That's very much, like, it depends how you, like,
I have it
into
kind of with a lot of friends now that we don't do presents.
If you see
like,
each
I
other
don't get
a
things
lot,
for their birthdays, they don't get me things for my birthday, and it's just kind of like... So then when it's Christmas, it's no surprise.
me and Caitlin did this thing one time where we were like, we both had a bit of money, I guess, and we were like, we're not gonna do each other Christmas presents, but we're gonna buy each, we'll separately purchase the £99 voucher holiday deal, and we were like, we will do that because
that's how much you'd spend.
Yeah, we would do that if we had that budget on each other.
Yeah.
And we both want to do that thing, so let's just do it. Or, like, you could be like, let's not do presents, we'll go out for a meal together. Or, like, technically we're buying our own food, but if you want to think about it as I bought your meal, you bought mine, like, whatever, logistics wise, but it's fine. I like that as well, going out and doing something together.
Yeah.
But that is also...
We always say we're doing that for our birthdays.
And then we buy presents
and then we're like, oh, let's go to Amsterdam, it's like a joint birthday.
Yeah, we try.
And then we spend like £30-40 on each other's presents.
We've done it one time where we did an abroad trip and we were like, birthday, and now we're like, it's a tradition. Do we do it this year?
We did too.
What did we do this year? We did a lot this year. We did 2 trips within like 2 months of each other.
Yeah, and both of them, we were saying was for our birthdays.
Yeah, because...
Why though?
Technically they were both in between our birthdays, but there actually is like...
The difficulty is that we view our birthdays as hand in hand. Like,
we got joint
basically
birthdays.
twins. Like, we would do a joint birthday party if we could.
But when you actually think about it, there is an entire star sign
because I'm start of March and you're end of April.
Like, it's not even like, oh, Pisces and Aries, Aries and Taurus, like, we're sister signs or whatever. We're not.
No.
it's not it. But yeah, oh, I was going to say something. No, I forgot it. What can you do? Yeah, it's a difficult one altogether. I don't know.
I think communication is key.
I think that's, like, and this is what sounds so weird because it's not relevant to the Christmas thing, but that's so the answer for a lot of the things we do all the time.
Like, you just need to say, like, By the way, I'm not doing Christmas presents this year.
Yeah, not anything personal. I don't want to do it. And I actually don't necessarily think you particularly need a reason.
No.
Like, I don't think you should have to preface it by saying money's tight.
Like last year, I was just busy.
Yeah.
I still haven't had the, like, I'm not going today, I don't feel well. I need to go Christmas shopping. But I'm not going to have time.
Well, yeah, like, Lizzie gave us a present yesterday and we were like, we've not done our Christmas shopping. You'll get something. It's not going to be right now. It might not be before Christmas because we've not done anything.
Yeah.
That's, if Lizzie, if you're listening, you're getting something. But, like, if you want to turn around to people and be like, I'm not doing them. Don't feel like, if you want to get something for me, you're not getting it back. It's not going to be reciprocated. If you feel like you want to, you can.
Yeah.
I'm not doing them. It's not happening. Especially if your friend's birthday is like the 26th of December or something.
Yeah.
You could be like, I'll get you a birthday present, but don't do it back because that's not Christmas. I'm not getting you two things.
And get you a birthday present. That's
Yeah.
fair.
If my birthday was the 26th of December, I'd rather someone get me a birthday present than a Christmas present.
Yeah.
Because that's just slightly more like thoughtful. Okay, did you just see that?
Yeah.
This one I should hope was the answer. I asked. Advent calendars and
Well, I saw the percentage, I didn't say the words, but I can assume.
100% no. People said, obviously lol, 100%.
Yeah.
Not one person said no, grow up. And I thought that was just going to be the end of that, but I will quickly pop in the fact that I did speak to my supervisor about this, and she was like, yeah, I've got a makeup one. And I'm like, oh, yeah, so when you say like advent calendar as an adult.
Yeah, you just...
I actually did think of it as just chocolate.
So
and I
Liz's
still feel
mum,
that.
for a couple of years now, has bought me an advent calendar. And when I thanked her this year, she went, everyone deserves a bit of chocolate in the morning.
Don't. It sent us into a spiral because she doesn't have an advent calendar. Who gets the mums of the world one if the mums are
my
getting
dad
you
started
them?
getting my mum one
Oh,
like a
clever.
couple of years ago.
Do that. I
It
think
took him some time, like you've got to think, like that's like
X years.
20 years no advent calendar.
It breaks my heart. Well, my mum did get a popcorn one I think last year, but as far as I'm aware she doesn't have one this year. I failed as a daughter, I am sorry. But yeah, it's like, as an adult, do you stick with a chocolate one? I'm pro chocolate calendar. I like it, it's fun, it's a nice treat.
Alyssa doesn't even like chocolate.
Yeah, I'm also like 6 days behind on it, but I like stacking them up and then being able to have them at once. But you can get alcoholic ones now, get fudge ones. I could absolutely F with a fudge one. You can you could get anything, makeup, hair, nail. I think a nail varnish one would be really nice.
Yeah.
You have a full set for the whole year.
24.
Do you think there has to be one on the 25th, or do you think it should end
No,
on
I
the
didn't think there
24th?
has to be one on the 25th.
Really?
You've got presents on the 25th.
True, but for
I do like
instance-
when there's like a big one on the 25th.
Yeah, like I think I had a Thornton's one once, and it was the snowman. I want to say there was a snow, like an actual snowman at the end.
Made of snow.
Yeah, made of my dog. But yeah, I just thought that was a nice little ender because I think my mum said it correctly.
Yeah.
But you can just like swap out chocolate for whatever thing that you want each
Yeah,
day
what
for a
deserves a
month.
little present.
Would you ever home make someone? Oh my god, you could make a crochet advent calendar. Each year I could put things in for you, or you could put them in for me. Like if you made like the base for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet there's a pattern for
Yeah,
that.
go on,
That's
Tom.
lovely. Oh, daily. I think for my brother.
No.
Like, what, you want my brother to crochet something? A hot sauce. Oh, crochet him a hot sauce bottle. A hot sauce cozy.
Don't have time for this, guys.
No. Thank you very much for listening,
Thanks for
watching,
listening.
getting involved.
Yeah, if you don't
Everything.
listen to Platinum Mixtape, this will be the last episode before Christmas.
Aww. Well, listen to Platinum Mixtape because
If you...
a little elf told us that if you have Spotify free now, for some reason when you listen to
Do
Platinum
they not have a
Mixtape...
trial? I
Oh.
thought that's what the message said. But you can listen to the Platinum Mixtape for free, just won't be able to listen to the full songs.
If you don't care as much about the music and you just like this style of things more, still listen to the Platinum Mixtape because we do talk like this, just about different things.
Yeah.
A bit more like little bits, not like deep dives.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with that, if you want to head over to our Instagram, it's at blonde_vibrations. Follow us there. Everything else social media wise will be in the link tree in the bio. Depending on where you're listening or watching, follow, subscribe, like, share with your elves, share with Santa, share with someone that you want to give an advent calendar to, share with the person in the office that you hate, give all of that.
Yeah.
Don't tell them which one they are.
Yeah. It's been fun, guys.
It's been so fun. Merry Christmas from your ho-ho host.
Yeah.
And we'll see you after Christmas. Hope it's happy and healthy. Or just happy holidays. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.